So my team actually finds Mark very approachable, very engaging, but more importantly, brutally honest. And I think that's one of the things that keeps his staying power, working with our differing set of generations. The comforting thing for me is that they're always in contact with him. So I know they trust him and they kind of apply, what he recommends.
He is not following a recipe. He has a general sense of where he needs to go. And he starts with, well, where are they at?
This is not training and coaching that's to check a box. Be prepared to do real work, and you're going to see real change.
Mark was recognized as one of us. His commitment to this was deeper than a business transaction. He believed in the work, he believed in us, he believed in our organization, and people felt that. Because it is hard work to look at yourself and to say, I have not been effective in approaching things the way that I have, and I need to ask for help. It made all the difference in the world in terms of people being willing to be vulnerable and to do the hard work of making that internal change, which is now showing up in our culture.
I think really the difference maker with Mark was that he took a lot of time to get to know us as individuals and what makes us tick.
I'd say his biggest strength is being able to ground you both in the emotional intelligence side of things, but also really identifying the true problems that you're trying to face. The majority of what our conversation was boiling it down to the root cause and what's actually driving all the symptoms that we're seeing in our work environment.
His knowledge of what he teaches is far deeper than what I originally anticipated. In fact, when we first started this thing, I told him we'll take this as far as we can go until my folks start to tune him out. Then we'll have to move on. To his credit, we just celebrated 3.5 years, and we still hire Mark regularly.
It shone a light on something that was going on within the team that I had otherwise been blind to, was accountability. So we ended up implementing a better accountability system.
We had Mark here during a period of transition, during a period of hard choices, and he and his team shifted the culture.
So I work on a team and my supervisor was getting training with him directly. I think after just seeing her be able to more advocate for herself and then modeling that behavior for us as a team, the growth that I saw in my supervisor was incredible.
And Mark was very effective in having individual coaching sessions with each one of my executives. Neither approaches the other in the same way. They ask, how can we resolve this? And they do so in a shared problem-solving focus versus adversarial focus, and that has led to a much more harmonious team environment.
When I first met Mark, I was a little resistant to buying into what he was saying because I always feel like I have the answer. But as I continued to work with Mark, he really, I felt, instilled a culture in our company that was very fresh. I started to really buy in because I could see the effects of what he was teaching. As I started to implement them into my work routine, I started to actually get the outcomes that I wanted.
What I feel is his biggest strength is the way in which he communicates. He teaches his lessons by way of an example. So he'll explain a point or a theory or a goal, but he'll help you know how to get there.
Something that Mark really stressed was reading people's cues and taking a step back when you feel like you may have lost control of the situation a bit. It helped me a lot because there were times when I would react instead of respond, but Mark always taught us to respond instead of react.
And so he's really great at providing us tools and methodologies for us to understand ourselves.
It's helped to transform the thinking and the approach of my management team. The folks now have a process that lets them check their assumptions, check their initial reactions.
One of the main takeaways that we got from the training was setting boundaries and kind of, managing up as well. Setting those boundaries, but doing it in a way where it still creates, this culture where people feel like they can come to you for support if they need it.
Even if Mark isn't here for 5 years, the impact of Mark can be felt for 10 years.